India is the 7th most beautiful country in Forbes list of 50 most beautiful countries in the world. But tourism is a small segment in the overall economy. It contributes less than 5% of the country's GDP. If we look at the data of tourist visitors, there were 6.1 million foreign tourists and 1,731 million domestic tourist visitors. For any country to grow its tourism and GDP, the most important factor is foreign tourists. In domestic tourism, what happens is the same money moves from one state to another. When foreign tourists visit, money flows from other countries and stays within the country. If we compare the foreign tourists to Dubai tourism, Dubai had 14.36 million visitors in 2022, which is more than double. The reason I compared with Dubai tourism is because at the beginning of this channel, I had made a detailed analysis about Dubai tourism. Though there is a bit of criticism about Dubai, largely it is about the marketing strategy, how everything was built according to the marketing vision of Dubai. I kept thinking about what is lacking in India tourism. In this video, I'm going to cover 4 major aspects. What is India tourism doing right? And what is India tourism lacking? Lessons from Dubai tourism. I will compare India and Dubai in their marketing activities. And lastly, I will talk about the importance of Ayodhya from tourism perspective. If you're new here, click the subscribe button and let's get deep into the incredible world of India tourism. Let's start with the most important sector in tourism, that is inbound tourists. In tourism language, they call it FTAs, foreign tourist arrivals. If we see the stats from 2011, there has been a slow and steady progress, but by the time India was close to crossing 11 million visitor mark, the industry was hit by COVID. One of the major sectors to get hit by COVID lockdowns was tourism and hospitality. But the good sign is that the industry is bouncing back very strongly. There were 6.19 million visitors, which is closer to the 2011 mark. The question is, who are these foreigners? Which countries are they coming from? Around 50% of all foreign visitors come from United States, Bangladesh and UK. I will talk about the Western countries in a bit. Let's address why so many Bangladeshis are visiting India. They are the second highest, and in one of the years they were the highest foreign visitors to India. We can broadly see 3 major reasons why Bangladeshis travel to India. Medical treatments, tourism, which is visiting religious places, and lastly, shopping. Bangladeshis spend a lot of money on medical treatments. The nearest and the best option they have is India. We also have the history of Bangladesh Liberation War, because in 1971, India was the rescue place for Bangladesh refugees. However, their spending is not that high. One, they take the land route, which is Haridaspur checkpost, and second, they live in their friend's house or relative's house or some cheap budget hotels. So to analyze the foreign tourist arrivals, we need to check the other important countries. Let's look at which countries spend a lot of money on tourism. If we look at the top countries in the world, US, China, Germany, France and UK are the highest spending countries in tourism. If we ignore China, then we have the top 4 countries as a target. India tourism is already doing a decent job when it comes to the United States. They are also our trade partner country. This also leads to the reason why they are the highest visitors for India. But Germany and France are not in the list of highest visitors to India. If we go a little further about Germany, their economy has been growing, especially the job market, which has been stable. As income levels keep increasing, people will naturally spend more on travel and tourism activities. But they are not traveling to India. Germans mostly travel to places like Italy, Turkey, Spain, and places close to Finland or smaller places around Europe. This is a similar story with France as well. They visit places like Spain, Italy, Portugal, Morocco, etc. If India tourism invests more on promoting to Germany, France and other European countries, there is a high chance of attracting that revenue towards India's GDP. To deviate the topic into education sector, what is happening in reality is more and more number of students from India are going to Germany and getting settled there. Indian students are the highest foreign students studying in Germany. Look at Dhruv Rathi, for example. He went there for studies and got married and settled there. Now coming back to the tourism. One more thing India can do is promote football, because all these countries have massive football fans. If India hosts at least one World Cup tournament, there will be a natural promotion for tourism. But on the other hand, both football and tourism are not a very high priority for Government of India. That is why the tourism contribution to the GDP is very less. However, let's look at what is India tourism doing right. If we look at the top 10 places in India by foreign tourist arrivals, Taj Mahal, Agra and others are the monuments centrally protected by Archaeological Society of India. This is a good side of it. Centrally protected, maintained and even marketed by tourism department to generate more revenue from the places. The second important thing India tourism is already doing is promoting the diversity of India. They are doing it by projecting the true essence of what India is. India is not just one country to visit. It is filled with vibrant culture, traditions, and a lot of festivals. They have been doing this with their marketing campaigns. Earlier, they had a campaign called Dekho Apna Desh. Mainly, they were promoting different places across the country. They also did influencer marketing at this stage. The director of India Tourism from Bangalore had also taken his own initiatives to promote local destinations of Karnataka. Through an NGO, I was also part of this initiative and helped them with videos for 2 locations. I also had the discussions with the team. Their main intention was to promote locations that were not known to the masses. This is a very good initiative, but the problem I see with this kind of initiative is that the scale is very, very small. Last year, they ran a campaign called Visit India 2023. They tried to promote India as the destination for multicultural aspects, spiritual corridors, wedding destinations, festivals of India, and rural tourism. They called the digital marketing as social media 2.0. All this sounds good. What is India tourism lacking? There are activities like influencer marketing, coming up with ad campaigns, etc. I see the strategy behind the marketing itself lacks a strong vision. If you look at their social media pages, most of the posts are not created by India Tourism Department. They upload the content created by travel creators and give them credits. This needs to change. It is true for a vibrant country like India, travel creators are the brand ambassadors of tourism. But the question is, why can't the tourism department produce their own content? That is one side of my criticism. Now let's look at the top visited places both by international tourists and even domestic tourists. You will see similar places, Taj Mahal, Agra, Red Fort, and the same monuments. Don't we have any other places to visit in India? There is a pattern which I have been observing in India tourism is whichever place generates more visitors, there will be more investments on that. Otherwise, there will be less focus on that destination. This is where I want to compare with Dubai tourism. I have made a detailed analysis of Dubai tourism. You can watch the video later. Coming back to this video, in simple words, what is so special about Dubai tourism marketing? People in Dubai realize their oil will get over at some point and they cannot depend on oil for a very long time. Then they came up with a master plan to convert Dubai into the best international destination for luxury tourism. That way Dubai will attract tourism and a lot of investments. This is the core philosophy of Dubai marketing. Everything else was built keeping this philosophy in mind. One, they had a lot of money and they spent a lot to build adventure activities, sports, fancy buildings, shopping, experiences, and the entire city. Not just that, they even built man-made islands. Then the last thing comes is the marketing strategy. All their promotional activities go with the vision of tourism marketing in national interests. If you see every 2 months, they have some marketing activity which is at the scale of national events. They produce every piece of marketing material to make this a spectacular event. Dubai's main target audience is India and European countries, because Indians and these developed countries spend a lot of money on luxury tourism. Proof already shows in this graph. The highest visitors for Dubai is from India. Their ad campaigns and promotional activities are targeted towards these people. They bring top musicians and conduct music events, invite Hollywood stars to share their experience. Bollywood stars are invited. For example, Shah Rukh Khan is the biggest ambassador. Food experts like popular chefs are invited for food events. Popular content creators like Ashwin Bhatia from India and other foreign creators are their promoters. They go to specific places to promote the specific activities of Dubai, because that is what is designed in the philosophy. To recap, here is the 3-step strategy of Dubai. Step 1, come up with a solid strategy to make it a national event. Step 2, build everything to fit the vision of this campaign, even if it takes to recreate the whole thing. Step 3, promotional activities to the right target audience. Now let's look at India. What can we implement from this strategy? First is coming up with a strategy that is of national importance. How can we do this? If we look at the international checkpost for foreign tourist arrivals, we can ignore Haridaspur land checkpost because that is where Bangladeshis enter. The others are 7 entry points: Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Cochin, and Kolkata. Now we know these are the 7 entry points for foreign tourists. We should break the whole tourism into 7 regions and make 7 national events. All north regions, including the new Ayodhya, can come under Delhi category. And the major attractions closer to these checkposts can be clubbed and celebrated once as a national event. And more importantly, target the countries like US, UK, Germany, France, and other European countries who spend a lot of money on tourism. Bring international creators from these countries and promote the 7 regions. Bring celebrities and make ad campaigns, conduct music festivals, etc. On top of this, India tourism needs to have their own production and not uploading from travel creators and giving them credits. How this can be done is India tourism needs to be the main promoter and state tourism boards need to be their organizers. This way it will be a win-win situation for all. However, there are few things in India that fall into this 3-step strategy I just mentioned. One is the Statue of Unity, which was built keeping this in mind to enhance tourism. And one more thing is Kerala tourism. I have been following state tourism boards. In my opinion, Kerala is the best state when it comes to marketing the essence of state's culture, places, and attracting tourists. They have a saying in Kerala, give them banana leaf and Kerala food. They will promote the entire Kerala to you. Same goes to their movies as well. Give them few characters and a backyard. They will make the entire cinema out of it. That's Kerala tourism. Moving to the next segment of the video, which is Ayodhya. From tourism perspective, Ayodhya fits into this 3-step strategy Dubai has been following. If you remember Rajmouli's movie Bahubali, you can see how this universe is built. That is exactly what they're trying to do in Ayodhya, but on a very smaller scale. Building the entire Ram Mandir is one of their visions. From a tourism perspective, it is one of the best things built. This will for sure generate revenue for the tourism department. As per the data by UP Tourism Department, in 2021 there were 325,000 tourists visited Ayodhya. This number went up to 23.9 million in 2022. UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath predicts this number will go 10 times higher after Ram Mandir inauguration. Already land prices in Ayodhya have skyrocketed. It is a matter of time for other activities to begin. In addition to this, if the government creates wellness campaigns like how Sadhguru creates, adventure activities around and a good shopping experience for foreign tourists, this can become a good destination for spiritual tourism. So to conclude this video, India is not just about one place or few monuments like Taj Mahal. Each state and region has some spectacular destinations, culture and festivals. This needs to reach foreigners. What do you think about India tourism? Drop your opinions in the comments below and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the next analysis.